Well, hi guys, and welcome to RCC Adventures. Now, today we are taking Micky out for a drive. So yeah, if you've not seen this car before, this used to be mine. Kind of technically is still mine, but it's on a sabbatical at the moment. But you would have noticed it had different wheels on it. So yeah, he's on a sabbatical, and to be used as an everyday vehicle or as a spare vehicle, the wheels that are on him weren't very good. So I'll show you. So he's got a set of 13s on him now. There's that exhaust again. Makes a lovely pop and bang when you're really going for it. So yeah, all different colours. And so I'm using a new gimbal and it's getting confused, I think. Yeah, so anyway, different colour wheels all around because they were spare wheels, but they've had new tyres. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you would see that we put new tyres on this. We put this new tyres on Mini as well. So yeah, it's not a beauty. Paintwork needs quite a bit of work, but he's not bad. Got gimbals are difficult to keep hold of and make sure they get all the angles you want. Yeah, so the whole meaning behind this car being up at my friend's house rather than what I'm using it for is, well, it's due to the fact that I wasn't using him in the slightest. Might have some work done to him and then I'd use him for a couple of days and then he'll go back down to the storage area and he'll be there for months, barely ever being used. Where my friend, with her work, she needed a car that was good on fuel and was E10 compatible. And I said, well, why don't you use Micky? I'm not using him that often. And yeah, so that's how that came about. And it was for the fact as well is she might decide, you know what, I want to keep having him really. I want to keep using him because she loves using him. She loves the car. And to be fair, I love the car, yes, but at the same time I'm not using him anywhere near as much as I should be. Yes, he's a great laugh, but my issue mainly with this particular car is the door cards. They protrude too far in, so my legs are not comfortable, and previously I've had injuries on my knees mainly, and yeah, so I can't use him permanently, can't use him as a daily, so it would literally be just every now and again that I'd use him. But that's besides the point. Let's actually get to the slash review side of this car. So this particular car, as I said, is a 1 litre manual, and if you've watched my previous videos you would notice that there are a few changes in here. Well, a couple of changes. Is that the gear stick has been changed. That is one of my own. That came out of Cedric originally, and the steering wheel is back to the standard steering wheel because I had a racing style-ish kind of steering wheel on board. Don't know why I was waiting there. And yeah, so there's a couple of changes here and there, but nothing else really has changed. So everything that you see in here, if you can see it, is pretty much standard. Now we can go. Obviously the soundtrack is different, as the exhaust has been changed. Yeah, everything else totally standard. I think it's more and more official that it's not going to be mine for very much longer, because my friend needs it quite a bit, and if I do end up having him back, it will be a long time in the future. Right, so let him warm up because it's a cold day, as we're still in January, so it's a cold day at the moment. So I let him warm up first before I started really hammering on the throttle so you can hear the exhaust properly. Hopefully this angle is pretty good. I'm not sure if it is or not. One thing I do like about this little car is for the fact it's a 1 litre manual. The previous Micky was a 1 litre auto with the CVT, as you might know. So if you don't, please follow the channel and subscribe, and go watch those rest of those videos. But yeah, he's 1 litre manual. I'll get my words out. Pretty much everything under the bonnet is pretty much standard apart from the air filter. Different exhaust box that I put on there, that was custom made by me, and lowered suspension. But everything else is pretty much stock. So he's a Y reg, so that means he's from 2001. And you see quite a lot of these still about. They're good little cars, and a little bit of trim coming off here. Alright, so what we'll do now is going up a slight hill. Don't expect anything spectacular. Here's a 1 litre. That was up to 60 mile an hour, and as you can probably tell, it took a little while. But gearbox is lovely, it's nice and select, you can change gear quickly. Clutch is nice. The throttle response is very good. You do find with the pedal, especially in this particular model, with this particular car, that the pedal itself on the throttle feels quite stiff. I've driven other Micras, and they of this same year, and they've been similar. So it's obviously something that they've done in the production side of it all. Mini, the older one, the little red car we've got in the fleet, the throttle is nowhere near as stiff, and neither was Micky, which was another Micra, the older Micra, which is what this came from. So if you're a bit confused by that, what I mean by that, the name Micky has always been in the fleet from the beginning, but this is the second car with the name, because there was a body swap video. If you're wondering what that is, go back into my channel and have a look for that. It's literally, there's a two-parter, and there's two there for the body swap, which is where I swapped all my parts that I put on. So wheels, suspension, steering wheel, exhaust, spoiler. There's various little bits that made Micky. Other than that, he's just a standard Micra. The interior you get in these Micras can be a bit unusual. So you've got the dark grey on top and in the bottom of the door cards, and you've got green. Green all the way along there, plus all on the steering wheel. Different gear knob, and the seats are semi-turquoisey green. I am slightly partially colourblind, so they could be bright green, but you never know. But yeah, the interior in this is pretty funky. As you can see over there, it's not bad. Boot's pretty standard, reasonable size for a small car. Spare wheel is under the cockpit. Get a little parcel shelf, no speakers in the back here, or any lights or anything like that, just nice and basic. Yeah, I love these little cars. And if you've catched any more shorts recently, I did say that there might be another Micra maybe in the future, but older. Be the K10 hopefully. So we'll see about that. So we are just doing a little loop. We're not going very far away. But the little loop does contain some national speed limits, so you can hammer it a bit. You give him a hill and he performs. As long as you're going down it. Going up it is a problem. Instead of going up that way, we'll turn around at the roundabout and go back. Can't really go up any of the other roads here because they're businesses. This that's what I love about Micras really, is that they're just they're usable as long as you're not going on long journeys. If you go on a long journey, you might find it a bit of a slog, a little bit of a drain to the system. Where just driving around town, he's absolutely perfect. He's great on fuel. They're entertaining to drive even when with stock suspension. It's just a good little bit of fun. Go down this way, I think. Yeah, I am kind of mixing my words up a little bit. It's been a big, long day, really. Doing various bits. Obviously, you've seen the Harlequins here. We worked on the FTO. There's another video. You should have seen the video, but there might not be before this one. But there's a video of changing the front suspension on that. We were hoping to do one on the other car, but that's in a future video. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you can probably tell if you saw it. Anyway, but it's a very rare car anyway, nonetheless. So it's been a busy day. We'll head back up here now, coming to the end of our little drive about. And even though that exhaust does, I wouldn't say bellow, but it's louder than stock, obviously. It's not terrible. I like it, because obviously I made it, but it's comical. I like to say it's comical. And even with no suspension, it's fairly soft. I know there's not a lot to be said, because obviously Ron bounces around like nobody's business. Harlequin's lowered, so she bounces around. The van, you will find out eventually when it goes back on the road, but that bounces around. Not terribly, but it does bounce around quite a bit because it is lowered. What else? Oh, Magoo bounces around because of the type of suspension he's got. So it's not like we're not used to having cars that just bounce around. But being on these 13s with these slightly ballooned tyres is not a bad thing, because it is reasonably comfortable. So hopefully, guys, this is a little bit of an in-depth drive around in the car, a little bit of showing you inside. Obviously not into massive detail, but yeah, he's here on a sabbatical at the moment. I may have him back at some point, you never know. Or he might be here permanently or elsewhere. There's a bit of a spare car for the RCC fleet, and obviously you have other cars to play with. Hopefully you would have seen that particular car over there, the FTO. Hopefully the video would have come out by now. And future videos as well, might see more of these cars. This is my friend's place. And hopefully you might see more of him. But yeah, so subscribe, like and share, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.